Hello, hello, hello everyone. This is Kim from K&RP, and today I would like to share with you day 10 of the Friendly Junk Journal People's 12 Days of Junk Journal Gift Tutorials hosted by Linda Israel. Today's tutorial is on using a napkin to embellish a greeting card. So what I have done is I have taken one layer of the napkin off already. It was a 3-ply napkin, and I'm working on taking the second one off. So what I did was I took a piece of regular tape and I just pried up a little bit of the ply, and I am just gently removing it from the outer layer of the napkin, being very careful not to rip. And you just pull it back. Now I will save this for another project, or a mop-up piece, or stamp on it and use it on another project. I'll use both layers and I'll put them aside. So I had purchased a millennial of years ago these pieces of, I'm sure it's poster board or glossy photo. I'm not even sure what kind of paper it is anymore. It's got a glossy on one side, it is scored, and it's matte on the other side. So it is definitely a greeting card blank. I don't remember where I got it. I have a stack of them. There's no packaging. They're just in the supply bin. So I am going to fold it so that the matte side, I'm not sure which side I'll use. I think I will glue onto the matte side. And that's the way it seems to be scored. So I'm just going to crease it down on the score mark. And it doesn't line up perfectly, but that's fine. And then what I am going to do is I'm going to use a glue stick all over and put down this wonderful colorful napkin, and then trim it to size and embellish from there. So as I say, I'm just going to use a glue stick. Quite often I will use Mod Podge, but today, because for whatever reason, I'll just use a glue stick. Sorry. Feeling a little yonderly, and obviously it's coming through on. Okay, so I just want to put it on the front of the card, and it has a textured border. I'm not sure I want the textured border, but I definitely want the orange flowers. I'm just going to stick it down here. And if I had thought it through a little bit better, I would definitely have made sure there wasn't quite as many wrinkles in it. But if you press it down hard, it just adds a little bit of texture too. So I have glued down this napkin, and now I'm just going to trim it around the edges. I guess scissors would probably work better. So I will cut it just flush with the edge of the card. Saving the little scraps for another project, of course. I use the little pieces on tags quite often. Okay, so I will move the napkin out of the way. and this would be the card front. So since we were supposed to embellish it with napkins, I thought that by using the napkin as the card front, that would be a nice embellishment, but I am going to add to this. I'm going to trim this edge down a little bit more so it's neater. Okay, so then I think what I'm going to do is, since I've got this as the card front, I'm going to glue this down onto some cardstock and then cut out some of the flowers individually and layer them. So I will glue this down on cardstock, again using my glue stick, piece of cardstock, and cut them out, and I will come back. Hi, I'm back. So what I did was I had glued the napkin down onto some cardstock, and then I cut out some individual flowers. Then I decided that I would like to try edging it with the mixed down burnt umber paint and water that I use for edging other things, and I quite like the effect it gets. So I'm going to edge the card and all of the individual flowers. I have some mixed up and I keep it in an old pill bottle. So I'm just going to take my brush and go along the edges like you would do if you were inking. Again, I don't have inks, so I use paint for my edgings. So I'm going to do the card and each of the individual flowers, and I will come back when it is done. Thanks. Hi, I'm back. I have edged all of the flowers and the card, and what I have done is I have taken just a single hole punch, and this is like the large size that you would use for punching holes to go for loose leaf in a binder, that kind of thing. And I took a piece of light cardboard, it was a flap from a cereal package or something, and I cut out a bunch of holes, circles. What I use these circles for is that I always like to have some on hand, is I use them for building things up. Like when I did this piece of mixed media, if you can see, I've got little pieces of cardboard underneath to raise things up. That's what I use these holes for. So I'm going to do the same thing with the front of the card. I'm going to build it up so that it's got a bit of a 3D effect. I also pulled out some ribbon, and I'm going to add some ribbon so it's going to look kind of like a bouquet. And I think I am going to use this, it's almost like a champagne colored glittery ribbon. So I'm going to cut off some various lengths. You could use any ribbon. I'm just using stuff that I have on hand. As I say, I've taught arts and crafts for many years, and so I have lots of strange supplies on hand. Okay, so this is the front of the card. Now I'm going to decide if it's going to go landscape or portrait. I think I like it more for the landscape side. And this card is going to go in a junk journal, so I'm not worried about it fitting in a regular sized envelope. I'm planning on having some of the flowers stick over the edges a bit. So that's what I'm going to do. First of all, I am going to take just some liquid glue, and I'm going to put down a dot of glue and a dot from the hole punch, another dot of glue on top of that, and another hole, so that I have 2 layers of the light cardboard as a step up. Then I'm going to put down another dot of glue and just a single dot, and I'm going to use those for these little violets. So then I'll put a dot of glue on the back of the flower and just stick it on the stack of holes. Press it down lightly because it will slide. You just want it to connect nicely. I'll do one on this single one. Of course, it's going to be lower so it can go underneath the first one, but still be raised from the main picture. Then I think this flower I'm going to put down in this corner, but I'm going to put a couple of these dots down as a step up. Then I'm just going to put one on each dot of glue. And it's amazing, these might be very thin, but it does give a nice step. And then I'll put dots of glue on each of them. And I will put this flower this kind of an orientation and just gently pat it down so that it's connected to all the dots. Now I think I will take a couple of pieces of the ribbon, just glue the ends together so that they're connected. You might have to hold them for a second so that they stay together. Actually, I'm going to do that with all the pieces of ribbon and come back. Hi, I'm back. So I have got the bits of ribbon glued together. I ended up using Eileen's tacky glue because it's a plastic back and the Elmer's white glue wasn't holding it. I've had to clamp them in order for them to dry. So while I've got the last one drying, what I did was I took 4 of the dots and stacked them, and I put a flower down to raise it. Now I'm going to take this flower and kind of put it in the center, but I'm only going to use a couple of layers of dots. There's one. There's 2. I think I will put 2 sets of dots down for some stability. And then I will put some glue on the dots again and put the flower down. I'm liking the way this looks with the 3D. So I'm going to add this other flower at the bottom and these little pansies, and then I will add the ribbon and we will be done. So if you would just like to hang on while I do these last few things, I'll be back. I'm back. I had to use the tacky glue to affix the ribbon. I needed to clamp it down to hold it till it's set, and I added the other flowers, and here is my card based on napkins. I think that'll be a lovely little addition in a text spot in a junk journal. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. If you really liked it, please subscribe, and have a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye.